of the 5K in 5 days challenge. Welcome, welcome. I'm going to share this into the group and then we will get started. I just need to make sure that I'm actually live. If you are hopping on here with me live right now, make sure that you go ahead and comment below, letting me know that you can see me and hear me. And if you're watching the replay, play along with me. Comment #replay. Let me know that you're here because no matter when you're watching this, this is going to be really valuable. So today we're talking about marketing. I like to call it marketing the easy way. Okay, marketing the easy way. I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about marketing. I'm going to talk to you about the mistakes that I see people making. And then I'm going to tell you how to continue doing this work together. Because first things first, I work with business owners who have services. And services are something that need to be sold and marketed, and typically marketed way more than you think you should ever need to. So the biggest mistake that I see business owners in their first 5 years when they're still under 100K is that they start to get discouraged, defeated, frustrated when they don't think that their marketing is working. So we're going to unpack that today, and I'm going to give you some actual tangible tools, like some steps to take, some things to do in your marketing today. Okay. All right. I see that somebody is here live, so go ahead and comment below. Let me know that you can see me and hear me, and we will get started. So first of all, for those of you who don't know me, if you're just tuning in here or somebody shared this video with you, my name is Cami. I'm a life and business coach for perfectionists, and I have a group coaching program called Permission to Profit, where I teach you how to double your revenue in 6 months. So we take you from 2K to 4K to 8K so that you can build a six-figure business. A six-figure business is $100,000, which is essentially $8,000 a month consistently is what a six-figure business is. I built my six-figure business in 3 years. It was just about 38 months. And I did this. I went full-time in 2020 in my life coaching business. I always had a mindset coach. I was always working with a coach because I'm telling you, human brains are very negative and we get in our own damn way. And when you don't have a coach, what happens is you spend a lot of time in your meltdowns and in your breakdowns and in your self-judgment and your self-sabotage and imposter syndrome. And the result of spending time there is you don't show up in your marketing consistently. You don't show up in your sales consistently. You don't show up as a six-figure earner, right? When you start to think of yourself as a six-figure earner, as a 100K business owner, there are certain skills that that business owner has, and 2 of them are sales and marketing. So let's dive into this today. I would love to know where you are currently doing your marketing. So when we think about marketing, marketing has 2 objectives. The first objective is just letting people know about you, right? Like, hey, I'm Cami. I'm a life coach. I'm a business coach. I can help you with your business. I help perfectionists. It's just letting people know who you are, right? Because if you have a business and you're not telling people about it and they can't find you, then you actually don't have a business, right? A business is something that makes money, that is profitable. And I see a lot of people in the beginning either just starting a website or deciding that they have a business, but they're not out there marketing and telling people. So number 1, the purpose of marketing is to tell people what it is that you have to offer so they know exactly what it is and they know where to find you, and you're just keeping yourself top of mind. The second purpose of marketing is to get them to take an action, to get them to engage, to get them to take the next step, which is essentially buying the thing, or reaching out for more info, or sending you an email, or booking a consult call, or sending you a direct message. Whatever the call to action is, that's the other purpose of marketing, is for them to solve their problem. And to get their problem solved, they need to engage with you. They need to reach out to you to get the solution. They need to reach out to you to hire you. So when you're thinking about your business, I've worked with all types of business owners, and I've also coached people who are not business owners, but this training is specifically for service-based business owners who are in their first 5 years, who are wanting to get to 6 figures, who are wanting to get to $100,000. And I remember sitting down at a table with a mentor of mine. And this was probably 10 years ago. This is for my first business that I had. I was in network marketing and I also had a health and fitness business. And I remember sitting down to dinner with him, like literally, like I felt I didn't do this, but my energy was very much like this. I wanted to like grab him by the shirt collar and be like, how do you make $10,000 a month? How do you get to a 6-figure business? And I was like mad. I'm like, tell me how to do it. And so I want this training this entire week to teach you exactly what it takes to build a 6-figure business. Because when I was talking to my mentors, I was like, I don't understand. Like, how did you do it? And here's the one thing you need to know. You need to be ready and available to take the amount of clients that's going to get you to your next revenue goal. So let's just say you're at $2,000 a month. I'm helping a client right now who wants to get from $2,400 a month to $4,800 a month. That's doubling her revenue. The first thing we did was we looked at her calendar. We made sure, how many clients are you going to fit in here? How many client spots do you have? What does the math look like? Okay. So we want to start with making sure you have availability for all the clients that you're marketing to, and you have space on your calendar, and the math is mathing. Okay. And the reason I do not recommend setting a goal for more than doubling your revenue is because typically our brain doesn't have the capacity to create a plan for something that feels impossible or for something that feels so far away. So for example, if I was to say, oh, I'm going to run an Ironman, I'm not even there yet. If you try to ask me how to run an Ironman, I just would be like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how. What I would rather start with is let's get to a 5K. And I know exactly how to get to a 5K, and I can go download a Couch to 5K plan, and I can book a 5K, and that's my first benchmark. So we know everybody in my program, everybody that I'm coaching with, they're all working towards a 6-figure business, a $100,000 business, but you have to set your goal based on where you're at. So if you're at $2,000 a month, we want to get you to $4,000. If you're at $4,000 a month, we want to get you to $8,000. Okay. And here's how we want to approach your marketing. These are the 3 biggest mistakes that I see when people are engaging with their marketing. And it all comes down to the way they're thinking about their marketing. So number 1 mistake that I see people making in their marketing is they're trying to go viral. They're trying to grow viral. They're trying to get more followers. They're trying to do something about growing an audience and getting a bigger audience. And the reason why this doesn't work is because when your objective is trying to grow a larger audience, trying to get more people, trying to go viral, then you're spending all of your brain power trying to solve the problem for how can I get the algorithm to pick up my content. And the reason why this is a problem is because we want to be speaking directly to your client, who is a real human being, who's sitting on the other side of the screen, who is watching your content, and we want them to take the next step. We don't want to be speaking to an algorithm that's just going to push us out if we're doing something sexy or on trend or we're using the right audio. So the value is lost when you're only focusing on trying to go viral, because the value is in the connection. The value is in thinking about the person as if you were sitting across the table from them, or you were on the phone with them, or you were having a direct message or a text message conversation with them. You want to be thinking about the one person who is ready and literally searching and looking for what it is that you have to offer. So number 1 mistake I see is people focus on going viral, getting more eyeballs on their stuff, instead of focusing on the one person that's going to connect or engage or get value from the content that they're posting. And when I say content, I'm going to be focused mainly on social media in this training today. But I also want you to think of all you need to be doing with marketing is making sure people know about you. So I also want you to know you can do all of your marketing with in-person events, in-person networking, and referrals. So that is also another capacity, another way to think about this, but I want you to think about the same thing. If you were thinking about networking in person and you're thinking like, I just need to meet all the people, I just need to meet everyone everywhere, that's going to cause you to be running around frantically trying to be at every meeting everywhere. And I've had clients do this where they're so exhausted, they're so burnt out because they went to 4 networking events, they didn't have any time for their family, and they ended up feeling exhausted and resentful. and they didn't even make any genuine connections because they were just annoyed about being at another event. So this is the same thing. We want you to actually be building connection and solving a problem and being available for a real human being that has a real problem that you are able to solve. So number one mistake is trying to focus on going viral. Instead, I want you to focus on the one person and their problem. You want to focus on what's the thing that I solve for them. So for example, I've had several real estate agents, so I'm going to use this. I have one real estate agent client that is a seller's agent. And what she is really, really good at is taking like the whole paperwork, legal processing, all of the paperwork. She makes it so easy for the seller to get through all the legal, all the paperwork. Let's get your home ready and let's get it sold quickly. So the result that she offers, the solution that she offers is let's get your home ready and on the market and sold within 45 days. That is the thing that she offers. That's the problem. And that's the solution that she provides to her clients. So when she's marketing, instead of thinking of going wide and going viral and doing a dance on TikTok, she's thinking of how can I just let people know over and over again, I'm a really chill entrepreneur. I'm a former lawyer. I know how to do your paperwork. You're wanting to work with me because it's going to be quick and easy to sell your house. That is her messaging. That is what she does. Okay. All right. The number 2 mistake is when you're looking at marketing is comparison. Okay. So if you're in the first 5 years of your business, we already know that you're going to have competitors. We already know that there's going to be other people in your industry that have been doing it longer than you. So we already know they might have 10,000 followers. They might have dozens of clients. They definitely are making more money than you. They definitely have more experience than you because they've been doing it longer. But when you start looking at other people, how long they've been doing it, how much more experience they are, how many more clients they have, you're now in comparison energy. Anytime you're comparing yourself to somebody else, you are going to feel inadequate. You are not going to be feeling good enough. You're going to be experiencing imposter syndrome. And when you go out into the world trying to do marketing, right? The goal of marketing is to tell people what you do and then make sure that they know exactly how to work with you and get them to take an action to take the next step to work with you. If you're comparing yourself to all these other people, you're not going to be in this calm, certain energy. And the first thing you're going to do is not show up because you're like, well, it doesn't matter. Nobody's seeing my stuff. It doesn't matter. This other person's better than me anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's going to diminish your power and capability and ability to show up and actually have conversations with people. So instead of comparing, what I would rather you do is focus on connections and solutions. Connections and solutions. So let me explain what this means. Connections is literally just connecting with anyone over anything. And this can feel like a little bit weird, especially for those of us, a lot of people in the network marketing space, when they came up and they learned marketing, they learned to like send people direct messages and like ask them about their day. And it was coming from like a really disingenuous place. So I am not suggesting that, because that is why marketing feels icky to you, is because you don't want to be this fake person in somebody's direct messenger. You don't want to be this fake person who's like, let me reach out to you and offer you my solution. That's not what I'm saying. What I love doing is actually finding out what it is that we already connect on. So for me, I love animals. So when I'm looking to make connections, what I'll do is I'll actively go onto people's pages or onto their stories or onto their actual profile or wherever they're hanging out, right? If it's TikTok, doesn't matter where it is. And I'll just scroll through their stuff until I see something I genuinely like. So I might be like, oh my gosh, your dog is so cute. Or I might say like, that dress is stunning. And I'm doing it from a really genuine place where I'm like, I really like that. That is so cute. Your house is so cute. Your dog is so cute. And I do this a couple times a day to remember that social media is just not this fake platform. It's not just an algorithm. It is real human beings with real lives. and where you can actually go to have real connection. And I have somebody I met from Australia. It's so cool. Like, we're friends on Instagram and we're always commenting on each other's stuff. And it just came from a real, genuine connection. I think she's so sweet. I love what she's doing. I happen to love Australia. So I'm always like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful there. And so we've built and developed this relationship over Instagram from actually being genuine. Okay. This is the same thing when you're thinking about connections in person. I was just coaching my client on this, and she was talking about how she doesn't like to go to networking events. She doesn't like to go to things like the chamber or any of these business networking events because she said something like, it's like everybody's trying to sell each other a pizza, right? Like everybody's there trying to sell something. But when you really show up to a networking event with the sole purpose of connection, I want to find something in common. I want to ask good questions. I want to find out a little bit more about this person. I want to get into the meat of the conversation. Those are the goals that I set when I go to networking events. It's like, I just want to learn more about this person. I want to talk about their chickens. I want to find out where are they traveling. And I want to do this from a genuine place, because for me, I'll tell you, I'm not really great at small talk. That's not a skill that I had growing up. I'm really great at deep, profound, emotional transformations. And I'm really great at speaking on a stage in front of thousands or doing a live video or a presentation or a workshop to people. So I'm really good at that part. And sometimes when I go to talk to people, I'm like, what do I ask people? I don't know how to do this. So I get it. If that is you, I understand. So what I do when I'm going to networking events is I'm actually thinking about what would I genuinely like to connect with somebody on today? And I'll even prepare questions just because my brain doesn't work this way. So I'll be like, okay, what could I talk about that's going on in my life? And I'm like, this year I traveled to 2 places. I was in Arizona this year. I was in California this year. I could talk to people about that. I can also ask them what they think about the weather. I could also talk to them about hey, what's a goal of yours that you're working on right now? So I will literally prepare questions because my brain doesn't necessarily work on the spot when I'm doing networking. Okay. So as we're thinking about this, remember, we're on step 2. The mistakes that people make in their marketing is focusing on comparing themselves to others instead of just staying in their lane. And what I want you to be focused on is connection and then solutions. Okay. So connection on social media is literally going out and actively engaging with other humans where you actively do really like what they post. You like their picture, you like their comment, you laugh at their meme, whatever it is. Social media should be an actual social and it should be a genuine connection. And when you can focus on the genuine connection of a human being, you start to not feel so weird and you start to not get so discouraged. Okay. So that's the first part. The second part is solution. So when you're thinking about marketing, the purpose of being there is offering somebody a solution. So when you think about if you are a photographer, for example, I had a client who's a photographer. She does boudoir photography. And she was always really concerned about I don't want to put my stuff out there too much because I don't want to bother people. Or I'm new. I don't know if people will like this, right? I'm new. I'm still learning my skill, my craft as a photographer. But what I helped her to see is what she's selling through her photography is not the images. It's the experience. And we know that the number one thing that women want is to feel confident and sexy and powerful in their body. And so she could give that client during her photo shoot the most powerful experience of being a woman. And it just so happens that she also gets the photos. So I help my client see to stop comparing herself to other photographers in the area that are better. They've been around longer. They have more clients. They have more experience. And I helped her to see that the solution is you. They want to be with you. They want to experience your energy. They want to experience the solution that you offer in the exact way that you deliver it. And so for her, we shifted it to what's the experience you're offering them? And it's women's empowerment. It's feeling sexy. It's feeling confident in your body. And so now when she goes and posts on Instagram, she's telling the story of women's empowerment. and she's starting to let go of the fact that she's still learning. And the purpose of her booking clients and getting paid is to actually practice that skill, is to actually connect with more women and continue to get better and better at her photography. Okay? Let me know if you're still with me. I see some hearts coming in. Let me know that you're still with me. All right. This is going to be the number 3 mistake. So the number 1 mistake is focusing on going viral. The number 2 mistake is focusing on comparison. Instead of trying to go viral, you want to focus on one person and helping them. Number 2 mistake, instead of focusing on comparison, you want to focus on connection and providing the solution. Connection and providing the solution. Okay. Deb says, I am. She's here. She's active. She's engaged. I love it. Okay. Number 3 mistake. And this is where I see perfectionism come up. So I'm just going to write the number 3 mistake is trying to be perfect. Okay. The number 3 mistake in your marketing is trying to be perfect. So here's the first thing. There's several ways that this could look, but I'm going to give you a couple of examples of how this can look and then how we could fix it. So the number 1 thing is like trying to be everywhere, everything to everyone. So I was just talking to a client last week. She's like, I need to be on Instagram. I need to be on LinkedIn. I need to be on YouTube. I need to be on Facebook. I need to be everywhere. I need to be on TikTok. And what I would rather you do right now in the beginning of your business as you're working up to 100K is to be all in on 2 platforms. And all in is different for everybody else. Like it could be 3 times a week. It could be 5 times a week. It could be 2 times a week. That doesn't matter. We'll talk about that in a second. But it's like, I'm going to show up consistently on 2 platforms. And I'm going to choose the platforms that feel easy for me. So there are some people that just understand LinkedIn. They just get it. They're already on it for their work or for their business, or they're more of a professional capacity. For me, I don't get it. I don't like it. It's overwhelming. I always have too many people in my direct messages. I don't want to be on there. It's a little stuffy. It's a little boring. I want to be a little bit more, free balling. I want to be a little bit more, I could swear and I can be a little more loose, right? So I like TikTok and Instagram. Those are my 2 main platforms. Now you see me here going live on Facebook, and that's because I know my audience is also going to be on Facebook, but most of my information is on Instagram and TikTok. So I want you to ask yourself right now, what are the 2 easiest platforms for me and why, right? You don't need to psychoanalyze yourself, but just ask yourself, what are the 2 easiest platforms for me? And then decide what they are right now today. We don't need to spend any time on this. Okay? So you're going to pick 2 platforms. Now, the next thing to choose is what would feel, what amount of time, what frequency would feel easy for me to do on these platforms. And I want you to start from where you're at right now. So if right now you're posting 0 times, we don't want to all of a sudden go from 0 to 5 days a week. Not going to be probably a good solution. So if you're starting from 0 or once a week, we want to bump it up to like 2, 3 times a week. Okay. So set your goal on where you want to start with your consistency. Now, here's something that I've always been really good at. Actually, no, I haven't always been really good at this. I was not good at consistency in the beginning, but the way I got good at consistency was telling myself that it was enough. So the perfectionism I see showing up for people here, and I had a client, we did a consult a couple weeks ago, and she's like, well, I just need to get my content calendar. I just need a 30-day content calendar, and I need my business plan. And I was like, no, you absolutely do not need either one of those things. Both of those things are a distraction from you getting out there and helping people right now. So the way I got really good and consistent at showing up on social media, I was not consistent in the beginning back in 2015, 2016, when I started my first business. It was like really hard for me to show up consistently. But the way I got good at it was I showed up when I was really feeling compelled to do it. And then I told myself that that was good enough. And then over time, that developed a habit in me that now enables me to show up 5 days a week, every week, all the time. It's just what I do. It's not a problem. It's super easy. So I want you to see that easy is earned. One of my mentors said easy is earned. And the way easy is earned is by deciding how often you're going to show up and then commit to that, but then tell yourself it's good enough. So what I don't do is like schedule my posts. I don't tell myself I have to post at noon on Wednesday. This is where I see people get trapped in perfectionism. And this is when I see them really outsourcing their authority to social media managers or your Google business Facebook expert who's like, well, the best time for engagement is 9 p.m. I'm like, no, I'm going to post it when I'm posting it. If that gets me to show up, that's going to build my consistency muscle. And that's way more likely for me to do it than to tell me I have to post at 9 p.m. every day. That's just not going to work. So I want you to give yourself permission, right? That's what my group coaching is all about. Giving yourself permission to do it your way in a way that's going to allow you to be consistent with it instead of trying to follow somebody else's formula. That is always going to backfire for you because you're always going to be trying to get it right instead of creating consistent, compelling invitations for people to work with you. Okay. This is the next piece of this. When you're thinking about being perfect, sorry, my rug is falling off. We got to fix my rug. So you guys, talk about being perfect. Do you see this? This chair, I have to tell you, I got this chair brand new. I have one in my home office and I have one in my office. And I was cleansing it with Palo Santo and I freaking burned it the same day I got it. And so then I put nail polish over it, but you can totally see it. And so now this is why I have the rug on my chair. So let me fix that. All right. This is just proof that you don't need to be perfect in order to profit. That's what I'm saying. You don't need to be perfect at all, right? You need to be. So the reason why we try to be perfect is because we think it's somehow going to protect us. And the only thing it's actually protecting you from is additional money, additional profit, additional clients. You've got to be willing to just try things over and over again until you figure out what works. That's what marketing is. And here's what I want you to do right now today. I want you to unfollow anybody on Instagram, it's usually Instagram, that's telling you like how to go viral, how I went viral in 200 days, how I grew my Instagram to 10K overnight. We need to unfollow all of those people because all of those people are putting you in a scarcity mindset, thinking you don't have enough, comparing yourself to others, and then trying to be perfect. We need to stop all of that shit because it's not working. All that it's doing for you is it's making you feel anxious. It's making you feel like you're not doing it right. It's making you feel like you're not good enough. And you're stepping completely out of your authority as a business owner, as an expert, as a sales and marketer who knows that you have something really good to offer. And you know that just statistically, I did this math for people in my town. So I'm in Fayetteville, North Carolina. There's 200,000 people in this town. And if you just break it down and you're like, maybe half of the people might want what I want to have to offer. And then maybe 1% of those people might actively be looking. There's 1,000 people right now in my town that are actively looking for a life coach or a business coach. And if we use that for your town, or if you use that for your Instagram, there's 1,000 people looking for what you have to offer. That is what you need to be focused on. They're already in your orbit. They already know who you are. They're already there. They're lurking around in the shadows. They're watching. And I'm speaking to you as this is what I'm doing right now. I'm doing a live video. And they're back in the day, back in 2016, there would be 30 to 50 people on live videos like this. Social media has changed. The algorithm has changed. Everything has changed, right? In the past 7 to 10 years. But every time I show up on a video, on an Instagram post, on a reel, on a live, and an email, I'm always thinking about the human being who's going to experience it and watch it, whether or not I have validation in that moment. So right now, I don't have validation in this moment that there's a ton of people watching, but that doesn't matter because I'm thinking about the one person who needs this. And I show up for that one person and I just pretend that they're my client and I give them the value. This is what you need to get good at over and over and over again. And we're going to be talking about managing our emotions later on in the week, but today is just about marketing. Okay. So here's what I want you to do today. I'm going to give you a couple of tips and then we're going to shift gears. I'm going to talk about coaching, but I want you to actually do something with this information. I don't want you to just watch it. I don't want you to just comment. I want you to take an action in your business today because this challenge is about making 5K. Okay. So it's 5K in a month. It's 5K in a week. It's 5K today. Whatever it is for you, we want to be focused on that outcome. And then we want to be doing the sales and marketing activities that can create that outcome. But again, in an easy way, in a fun way, in a way that feels just very effortless, just very much like I'm just telling people what I do and I'm just inviting them to work with me and I'm just doing it over and over and over again because I genuinely care about the people. I genuinely care about helping them. And I know that what I have can really help them. Okay. So here's what I want you to think. Pick your 2 places. Where are you going to post? Is it Instagram? Is it Facebook? Is it TikTok? Just pick 2. And if you're feeling really overwhelmed, just pick 1. And if you're deciding, you know what, I'm not going to be an online person, then I want you to pick 1 networking event that you're going to go to. That's the call to action I want you to be doing from this training today. Okay. All right. So here's where I want you to think about. In order for people to work with you, in order for people to take the next step, and the next step in the sales process is usually reach out to me, send me a direct message, book a free consult call, send me an email. If you're a service-based business owner, then the next step is like they need to talk to you more like in a face-to-face capacity or on the phone, right? So in order for them to do that, they need to have these 3 things in place. They need to know, like, and trust you. And I'm going to break this down. These are 3 categories of social media. These are 3 categories of marketing. They need to know you. They need to know what you're all about. This is very simple. You just let people know a little bit of history about you. Like, oh, I used to be a dog trainer. I wanted to be a veterinarian. I love foster dogs. And it helps them to get common ground with you. This is why I always talk about animals because I'm like, I love animals. I want all my clients to love animals. In fact, what is wrong with you if you don't love animals, right? So I actively go out and let people know I love animals. It technically has nothing to do with my business, but also it has everything to do with my business because the reason I have my business is because I want to make a lot of money so that I can rescue all the animals. That is my purpose. So I share that often. The second thing is they need to like you enough to work with you. And this is tricky, right? Because sometimes all of us have this imposter syndrome. They think people don't like us. We think we're not good enough. So I just want you to think of they need to like you enough to work with you. So for example, I hire this guy that comes and like does the plumbing in my bathtub always gets stuck. It always gets air in it. So usually like every other month I have him come and like fix my toilet or fix my bathtub. I like him enough to let him in my house to do that. But we do not need to be best friends. So I want you to calm down with the like, they need to like me. It's not that big of a deal. They just need to like you enough to be like, oh, cool. You're a cool person. You're reliable. Like you can help me out with this thing. Right. So you don't need to be best friends. You don't need to get married to them. They just need to like you enough to take the next step. Okay. And here's what I want you to remember. The way to be liked is to be yourself. And I learned this the hard way. I learned this all the time. I am very direct. I am very outspoken. I am very, some might say, authoritarian, aggressive. And I used to always try to soften myself for people because I saw friends. I'm like, oh, like my friend is so sweet and people tend to like her more. But the problem with that is it takes so much energy for me to subdue my loud personality that it's just inauthentic. And what happened is when I did that for a while, I started signing clients who kept getting offended by me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is happening here? It's because in my marketing, I was being soft and I wasn't using the F word and I wasn't swearing and I wasn't being loud and bold and prideful and boastful and arrogant. Like I wasn't being this confident, loud version of myself. And then when I signed those clients, they were like, I don't know, I just can't. I need you to hold my hand. And I'm like, that is not what I'm going to do for you. So being yourself is what makes you likable to the people who are going to work with you. So what I do a really good job at in my marketing is I'm bold, I'm loud, I'm expressive, I'll swear, but then I'm also like, and I'll soften for a moment to be like, and I know you don't think you're good enough. And I know you're struggling. And I know running a business is really hard. And I get it. And I'm going to help you and I'm going to be there for you. and we're going to fucking do this, right? So it's like both at the same time. So you can have that softness and you can have that boldness, but don't try to make yourself one thing. Keep your dynamicness. You are a dynamic human being. We're not just one way. So authentically be yourself. And that's the way the people who like you are going to like you. And the people who are not meant for you are just going to disappear, right? They're just going to float off into the distance as they should. So we need to be authentic in our marketing. And then the last thing is they need to trust you. And the trust comes from making sure that you're communicating, this is the problem I solve. This is the solution. This is the result that we get. And this is going to be happening in your videos, in your emails, in your copy. Copy is just the words that you write on your posts. And you want to be always focusing on, this is what we do. This is how we do it. This is the result that you get, over and over and over again. And remember what I said about not trying to be perfect. There's no way to get this perfect. The way that you get better at doing this is by doing it a lot, over and over again. So I'm going to see if I can think of an example. Yeah, I have another example. So I have a client who does marketing services for established businesses. So she runs their social media. She does photo shoots for them. She does their branding. She does marketing campaigns. And we sat together and we created this 3-phase protocol for her clients. And we talked specifically on, this is what we need to do in phase 1. This is what we need to do in phase 2. This is what we need to do in phase 3. And so in her marketing, and she actually does all of her marketing through referrals, the way that she did it was breaking down the steps and putting it into a proposal. So here's phase 1, here's phase 2, here's phase 3, here's what the end result's going to be. And then she also got really good on explaining to people, here's what's going to happen through this social media marketing campaign we're doing over the next 6 months. And she let them know, here's what we're going to do first, second, third. The result is you're going to have more brand awareness. You're going to have people coming in for events. We're going to do some campaigns. And the result you're going to get is this. So no matter what business you have, whether it's real estate, whether it's home organizing, whether you're a coach or a service provider, you've got to get good at helping people to trust you, which is getting good at telling people, this is the process we're going to go through. This is the result that you're going to get. This is what it's going to be like. And the only way to do that is to do it over and over again. Okay. So as you're thinking about what to post today, I'm going to give you a couple of prompts. Okay. I'm going to give you a couple of prompts. First, I want you to be thinking of, how can I help them today? Like, what's the one thing I can say that's going to help them today? Number 2, what results do I offer? Number 3, why is today the best day for them to call me or reach out to me or send me an email or book a consult? Why is today the best day? Now I'm going to give you 3 hooks to start your post, okay? So for the first one, how can I help them today? I would start with, did you know? Did you know that hiring a home organizer saves you time and money? That's something that I have helped my home organizer client with. Did you know that hiring a home organizer helps save you time and money? The reason why is we declutter your stuff. We find duplicates of things so you're not buying things, and we organize so that you'll always know where your things are, and you'll always be able to, you're not rushing out the door trying to find things. You're always going to be on time because you know where all of your things are. Book a free consult with me now. Send an email to me now. I'll send you a quote for home organizing. That's an example. All right. Second example is, as a result of working with me, clients feel. As a result of working with me, clients feel. I'm going to use my own for this one. So as a life and business coach, when you enroll in Permission to Profit, the result of going through 6 months of group coaching with me and with the other women in the community is you are going to feel like a confident CEO and entrepreneur. You are going to know how to do your sales and marketing. You're going to feel resilient, like you always know how to figure things out. You're going to know how to set a goal, a revenue goal, and go after it. You're going to learn how to evaluate instead of feeling shameful and spinning and spiraling out. You're going to know how to make really solid investment decisions for your business. And you're going to build a sustainable business model for you to get to 100K and beyond. So the result of coaching is you're going to be confident as a CEO. You're going to know how to do sales and marketing. You're going to learn how to double your revenue. You're going to know how to set any goal and go after that goal. You're going to know how to evaluate that goal. And you're going to become the most amazing human that you've always wanted to be. You're going to be so proud of yourself by the end of 6 months for the way that you showed up, for the way that you were resilient, for the way that you never gave up, and for the way that you created your results. When you decided this is my goal, you now know how to go out and create it. That is what I offer for my clients. And your next step, this is real, your next step is to actually click the link for the application. Let's just do this right now. That's a perfect segue. This Permission to Profit group, we start in 2 days. We start on November 14th, which is Thursday. It's Thursday, November 14th of 2024. It is a 6-month group coaching program. And the way for you to get into it is by submitting your application. There's a link right above this video. And in this application, it takes about 15 minutes. I'm going to ask you questions about your business, where you're at with your revenue. What are the things you're feeling challenged on? What are your goals? What do you think is in the way that's going to get there? And the purpose of this application is to see if we're a good fit to work together. And on the other end of this application, I'll get back to you within 24 hours. And on the back end of that application, I'm going to send you an email. I'll ask you a couple more questions, and then we'll have a conversation about your business. I do this completely for free. The reason why I allow you to have a conversation with me as a 6-figure business owner who's been coaching for 10 years and built a 6-figure business in 3 years is because I know what it's like. When you're feeling frustrated, when you're feeling lost, you're feeling overwhelmed, you don't know what direction to go in. Like, I wanted to just grab my mentor, like, tell me what to do next. I want to give you a free consultation to just tell you what to do next. Whether or not you work with me, that's irrelevant to me. Working with me is fantastic. You definitely should if you're a good fit. But I want to just be able to give you the next steps, to give you some clarity on these are the things you need to work on. This is what it's going to look like. And then the reason to join the group is because I believe in my clients. I believe my clients are smart, intelligent, hardworking, diligent, resilient. They're dedicated. And also, I know that their emotions are going to get in the way. So I always believe my clients are going to reach their results. They're going to get what they came for. They're going to reach their goals with or without me. But what I see time and time again is when we're in a coaching container and it's 6 months and you're only focused on that goal for 6 months, you reach those goals so much quicker because you're focused on it. You have accountability. So you're not able to like allow your squirrel brain to go off on something else and get distracted. You're also not making those mistakes of investing in the wrong things. Remember, I told you, you're thinking about going viral. You're comparing yourself to others. You're trying to be perfect. There's so many things in your business that somebody is going to tell you you need, and all of them are shiny objects. Most of them you do not need. Now, it's not to say they're not useful. It's just saying where you're at in your business, you have to be very precious about your cash flow. You need to be very diligent on where you're reinvesting your money, and that money needs to be giving you a direct ROI in the short term. And the only thing that always gives you a direct ROI in the short term is learning sales and marketing. You got to learn sales and marketing. Then you got to learn how to control and manage your emotions because you're going to have meltdowns. Then you got to learn how to manage your mind and your money mindset. These are the things, hands down, period, that are always going to give you an ROI, which is why I created this group. The reason I created this group is because my one-on-one 6-month for new business owners is a fairly large investment. So typically when I'm working with people one-on-one, they're working on higher levels of business, right? They might be working on $1 million goal. They might be working on a $600,000 goal, or they might just be like, hey, I want one-on-one attention and focus for my personal life. All of that is okay. But because I know the power of having coaching early on in your business, on how it completely transforms the way you show up in your life, in your business, in your relationship, in your sales and marketing, this is the thing that's going to push you over the edge. This is the thing that's going to get you to your revenue goals. And so when you learn sales and marketing, you're confident, you know how to evaluate, you can manage your emotions, So you don't just like exit your business for 3 weeks. We want you to be able to show up consistently every single week in your business, even if life is lifing. And that's what the power of group coaching is, because you have accountability of 3 calls a month. We do our calls on Zoom, so you actually get coaching and attention directly with me. And you also get this ability to watch somebody else get coached. So there's something about a close-knit community. I always coach less than 10 women in these groups because I like the intimacy of the group. I like you to be able to show up and say, hey, I'm struggling. This is hard. I'm going to watch Susie get coached today because I'm in my feelings. And when you can watch her get coached on the thing that you're really struggling with, you're able to see it from a new lens. You're able to feel not so alone. You're like, oh, this is normal. This is a normal part of the entrepreneur roller coaster, is feeling these feelings, feeling bad about myself, feeling like giving up, feeling like an imposter, feeling disappointed, feeling like a failure. All of that is normal. And when we're doing this coaching together in a group, we get to hold space for one another. You get to watch other people get coached on things that are going to it's going to allow you to sink into your brain even better. And you're not going to feel so alone. You're going to feel seen, held, and supported. And you're also going to have me as your coach, which is always going to be challenging you to your revenue goal. What I see so often is 2 things will happen. First thing is people will set goals that are way too big. Like I said before, like if you're just like, I'm going to make $1 million this year, we need to set a goal that is reasonable within your current skill set, but challenging it enough that it makes you grow. So being in the group is going to allow you to set a goal that makes sense for you in where you are. Most of the time, this goal is doubling your revenue, but it may be a little bit different just in the season that you're in. And so within the group, you're going to be able to get that individualized attention focused just on your business, where you're at in your business and your goal. So I see people setting way too big of a goal. Then I see people settling on their goal. They're like, well, it's Christmas time, the economy, the election, it's a slow season. I guess like people aren't buying right now. That's never true. Now, is it true that there's challenges in the economy? Sure. Is it true that the housing market I just coached one of my real estate clients on this. Is it true that the housing market has its ups and downs? Yeah, absolutely. But what's also true is the problem that you are solving, somebody always has that problem no matter what time of year it is. So if, let's just say, for example, you have a homeowner who's got like tiny little house, a bunch of kids, they just had a baby, they've been like bursting at the seams of this house. They've been wanting a new house for years. So it's your job to sell them on the fact that you want to move now, you want to move before Christmas. Let's get it going. Let's do it. This is the best Christmas gift for your family. This is the best time of year to buy. Your job as a marketer is to always be inviting people into why this is the best time of year to be buying, to be making a move, to solve the problem, right? I use the example of my drain in my shower. My drain in my shower was plugged up for probably like 3 weeks, maybe a month. And the water just like sat in the bottom and I'm standing there showering and then just the water is just piling up. And I'm like, every day I was like, this is such a problem. This is such a problem. And I kept forgetting to like reach out to him until I'd get in the shower again. And then I'd be like, I didn't get busy. But like, imagine if that guy was like always in my direct messages every week, just being like, hey, just want to see if you need anything fixed. Hey, do you need anything fixed? And I would have been like, oh my gosh, thank you for reminding me. I do need it fixed. I keep forgetting. So the power of marketing is always for the client. It's like, hey, I know you have this problem. It's time to solve the problem today. That's the purpose of your marketing. Okay? All right, so here's your call to action. You're going to make a post today using one of these hooks that I gave you. A hook is just like your first word, the first sentence that you write, and it's always going to be focused on how can I help them today? What's the solution I'm offering? And like, why should they reach out today? It's the best day of the year to solve this problem, right? Okay. And you're going to choose your platforms, whether it's Instagram or Facebook or TikTok. Choose 2 only, up to 2, and decide how many times you're going to post. That is all your marketing plan needs to be for now. because we always want to start with the simplest thing. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't go into perfectionism. You have permission to just post, to get started, to put it out there. And then tomorrow we'll be working on selling. Then we'll be working on managing our emotions. Then we'll be working on planning for profits. You're going to get everything you need in this challenge this week. But that is the end of the training. Go ahead and comment below. Let me know what your takeaway is. Where are you going to post? How many times a week are you going to post? And then if you want to, you can post your copy down below. We can all take a look at it. All right. So now I'm going to invite you I'm going to invite you a few more times. I'm going to let the comments come in. And I'm also going to invite you again and tell you about Permission to Profit, what it is, why I'm doing it, what the bonuses are, and how you can get involved. So Permission to Profit is my 6-month group business coaching. It starts on November 14th, which is 2 days from now. So if you're watching this, even if time has already passed, you will want to go up here and submit your application. When you submit that application, I get a notification. And the next step I will do is I will reach out to you to have a conversation about your business. Whether or not we end up working together, whether or not you end up joining the group, that's not the point. The point is for me to help as many people as possible, get them on the right track with doubling their revenue, with knowing where the next step to go is. But here's why you would want to join the group. And I only have a few spots left in this group because I'm keeping it small and intimate, because I want the right people in the group. I want people who are supportive and driven and vulnerable and open, but also committed to getting their results, willing to be coachable. I have such good clients in the group already. We've been coaching together in the bonus group for already 4 weeks. It's been amazing. And they've already been closing new clients, booking consults. One of them is a real estate agent. It's been so fun. So the reason why you want to be in this group is because you want consistent mindset coaching. Your brain is going to get off track. So we coach 3 times a week on Zoom. Zoom calls. So you're going to get face-to-face with me. You're going to be able to get coaching on your specific business, any issues, any challenges that are coming up. You're also going to be able to witness coaching from others so you don't feel so alone. The other thing we have in the group is a Facebook group. So the Facebook community is for celebrating your wins and for also setting your intentions. So one thing I see is my clients thrive off of having accountability. When you know, this is what I'm doing this week, this is how many times I'm going to post, this is what I'm going to do for networking. And then on Fridays, we check in. What did you do this week? We are constantly in a state of celebration because celebration is what builds momentum. You never want to be telling yourself you're not doing enough, you're not good enough. You always want to be building momentum, telling yourself how you're doing great, how it is working, so you can continue to show up. So we have the group coaching. We do 3 times a month. We have the Facebook group that we post on Mondays and Fridays and any time in between. Mondays, we set our intentions for the week. What actions are we going to take? What are we going to do? Fridays, we do our celebrations. So you're consistently checking in on yourself, making sure that you're moving forward on the things that you say you want to do. Then we have 1 breathwork session per month. And let me explain breathwork to you because I've been asked the question, what does breathwork have to do with business? And I say it has everything to do with business. So the type of breathwork I teach is called Revelation breathwork. It is a deep, active breathing process where we actively engage the body and we let out a primal scream so that we can get all that shit out. Because here's what happens. Frustration, overwhelm, imposter syndrome, disappointment, feeling fatigued, feeling like giving up, feeling not good enough. Like sometimes we have some like rejection sensitivity come up, right? Like all of the things that we ever experienced in our childhood could be brought up in our business because it's scary. It's like putting ourselves out there again and again. It's like doing something hard that we've never done before over and over again. It's falling down and getting back up. So the purpose of breathwork is to take all of your feelings and emotions and we get them all out. The way the breathwork session works is it's private. So what I love about it is I teach it live on video. I have a curated set of songs, and then you're going to hear my voice. I actively guide you through the breathing process, but you're muted and your camera's off. You're doing this virtually in the safety of your own home, the comfort of your own home. And then afterwards, you're journaling. You can be introspective, or you can come back on screen and we can talk and we can share. This level of capacity to expand the ability to feel any emotion, the willingness to feel any emotion, is the skill that allows you to go big, to go after big dreams. Because big dreams also offers big failures and also offers big embarrassment and big shame. So we need to just meet these feelings head on. And this is why I include breathwork, is to give you a safe place to take your feelings once a month, get them all out, regroup, and then go again. So these are the three things we have in Permission to Profit. It is a 6-month group. It starts Thursday, November 14th. In order to get in, you need to put your application in right now. It takes 15 minutes to apply. Make sure you do it. As soon as you apply, I'll get a notification and I will respond back to you within 24 hours. We will have a conversation specifically on your business and I will let you know what the next steps are for the group. If you get invited to the group, then we will be live on a group coaching call on Thursday. And as soon as we're live on that group coaching call, we're hitting the ground running, we're taking action, we're working on your business. Okay, beautiful. Deb says she's posting once a day. Tell me where you're posting, Deb. Is it Instagram? Is it Facebook? I think it's Facebook, but just let me know. And then the bonus that you get when you put your application in and you get your application in before November 13th, the bonus that you'll get is a one-on-one coaching call with me. The one-on-one call can be used for anything you want. It could be business or it could be personal. If you have issues with your spouse, we can coach on that. If you really want help with setting up your website or a funnel, or you need some tech issues, we can do that. If you're really like, I need some help with my program, like what I'm selling, how I'm selling it, we can do that. If you need help with writing your sales emails, we can use that call for whatever it is that you want to use. It's a 50-minute call. We coach on the thing that you need the most that's going to help you move forward. And you get one bonus call. You can use it at any time throughout our 6 months together. Okay. Deb says Instagram and Facebook. Beautiful. So once a day, Instagram and Facebook. And Deb, if you want to, go ahead and post your post below and I'll give you some feedback on your copy. This is like essentially what we do in group coaching. If you have a post that you're ready to go and you want to type it out here. I'll help you with that. All right. I want to talk a little bit about coaching because I made a couple of assumptions this week and I've been thinking about this. People who haven't coached with me or who have never had a coach may not necessarily understand what coaching is and the value of it. And I was thinking about it today because I just graduated a client. We just got off our graduation call. We've been working together for 6 months. And I was thinking about what it's like to go through life without a coach and what it's like to go through life with a coach. And here's how I like to think of it. I like to think of running a business as you walking on a tightrope, but you're also like having to hold this thing and balance the thing. You're walking on a tightrope and you're having to like balance the bar, right? And there's also like other people on the tightrope. So you have like multiple factors that you're trying to skills that you're trying to master all at the same time. And I want you to imagine that you're doing that all alone over the Grand Canyon. And it's very scary because you might fall and plummet to a big injury or worse. Now, I want you to imagine that coaching is the net that comes underneath you. That you know that you're doing something challenging. You're doing something hard. You're doing something that 1% of the population does, which is deciding to go after a dream and a vision. You have this dream in your mind. You're like, I have this thing. I can help people with this service. And I have this dream to have a 6-figure business. And it's scary, but I really want it. And I'm going to learn. I'm going to take these actions. I'm going to take these big steps. And I know that if I fall, if I feel wobbly, if I feel scared, I know that that safety net is there to catch me. I know that if I fall, I will be okay. And this is the power of coaching because I want you to fail. You're going to have to. Like the way to learn how to balance on a tightrope is to figure out like, oh, that didn't work. That got me really unbalanced and I fell off. So what's going to happen as you build your business is you will have necessary failures. But the difference between having a coach and not having a coach is when you do not have a coach, you end up beating yourself up. You're like, why did I fail? People don't like me. Why is this happening to me? I shouldn't be feeling like this. I'm feeling really sad. I'm feeling really bad. Maybe I should stop marketing. Maybe I should get off of social media. Maybe I should change my business. And you have all this fear, all this shame, all this self-doubt come in, all this questioning. And it takes you way off course from the main goal. The main goal is to double your revenue and get to 6 figures. And when your brain starts doing what brains do, it's going to take you off course because it's going to try to take you to the thing that feels safer. And it's going to be like, you know what? I'm just going to sit like over here on the edge of the Grand Canyon and I'm going to like get really good at like looking into the Grand Canyon because like that's what I think I want to do now. And I, as your coach, are going to be like, you're okay. It's time to get back up. Let's get back on that tightrope. Like this is what you signed up for. You want to build this business. You're going to need to learn these skills. And your little baby inside self, right? Your little inner child is going to be like, I don't know. I'm scared. And so having a coach there is going to help you through your fear, your imposter syndrome, your failure. And you're always going to feel seen and held. And you're always going to be called forward to the goal that you set out. So I don't choose the goal for you. You choose the goal. But I'm always offering like, hey, do you still want to go for this? Do you want to go after this goal? And then we reformulate a new plan. We evaluate what you did before to be like, okay, what worked? What didn't work? What are we going to do differently next time? But the difference when you have a coach is you move forward with power and strength and purpose. And what I see when people don't have a coach, and these is times in my life too, when I didn't have a coach, I would just disappear for like 3 months. And I would just like not have a business for 3 months. I would feel really bad about myself. I would feel like it was my personality. Like people just didn't like me. And I would internalize it so bad. And it took me out of the game for many months. And so in the past 4 years, I've always had a coach. I think in the beginning, I like kind of went back and forth on like having a coach for 3 months at a time. But when you're thinking about creating 6 figures, you want to always have a coach in your corner working on something over every 6-month period on something that's going to move you forward in your business. So the thing that got me to 6 figures quickly was always having a coach there. And this is something that people maybe don't always know if they haven't had coaching before, but this is the reason why we have it. We know your brain is going to try to take you off course. We know that fear and anxiety just live in the body and the things that we're doing are scary and it can really take you out. And when it takes you out, either takes you completely out of your business or it has you like hustling and overachieving and trying to do all the things to make up for your lack of belief, to make up for your self-doubt, and it has you running all over the place. What I do as your coach is I keep you on track with doing the 5 things that are important: your sales, your marketing, your money mindset, managing your emotions, and planning for that profit. These are the 5 things we stay on track with. When you stay on track with those, you stop making mistakes on investing your money into shiny objects. You stop doing things that aren't profitable. You don't just do them because they're there. You look at the profit and you decide from a CEO vantage point, is this a profitable business decision? And then the more you do that, the more confident you get. And then you're like, dang, I know how to do this. I know how to create 2K a month. I know how to create 4K a month. I know how to create 8K a month. Then you become a person who knows how to create money, who has to create clients, how to create cash flow. This is a skill that will serve you forever. Everybody's always selling everything all the time. Sales and marketing is the number one skill to have. And when you master your money mindset, your sales, your marketing, your emotions, nothing can ever stop you. Even if a big failure comes, you've built up so much resiliency, nothing can ever stop you. You cannot be taken out. And that like sense of feeling bulletproof, that is what coaching gives you. This is the thing that sets other business owners apart, the ones that are successful, the ones who get to a 6-figure business, is they have a coach in their corner and they're consistently working on these skill sets. So when you have a coach, you feel empowered because coaching is not for losers. You're building something from the ground up. You're automatically a winner, a high achiever, a visionary. You're automatically somebody in the upper echelons, right? And this is not to say like putting people above or below people, but I see a lot of my clients think that they're not cut out for business. And I want to let you know you are. You absolutely are. If you have a skill and a service, you have the capacity to learn CEO skills, business skills. This is a learned skill. It doesn't matter if you were good at math in high school and college. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you didn't go to college. We do simple, basic math. Doesn't matter if you grew up without money. You can become the most abundant person in your family lineage and change your family's future forever. This is why I'm starting to get emotional now because of what I've created in my life. This is why I offer this, is because I want a safe place for you to come with all your thoughts, with all your feelings, and for somebody to say, I got you. Let's coach through this. And also say, let's go. You've got this. And you go out, you get up again, you do your sales and marketing, and you believe in your ability to create results. That is what we do together over 6 months. And Permission to Profit is based on the premise that you have permission to do it imperfectly. So we're not going to stay stuck in overwhelm or perfectionism. We are going to start taking action and telling yourself it's good enough, celebrating yourself, celebrating each other, building a community together. And this community these are friends that you'll have for life. I love all of my friends that I've met in coaching containers. They're still friends to this day. And it's so cool to see after 10 years, where's their business? What's going on in their life? So this is a value add. Not only do you get coaching, you get community, you also get breath work, you also get the Facebook group. You are going to get so much from this that you will be looking back on yourself so proud of yourself that you took a chance to make an investment in your dream, in your vision. This is the number one thing that I see holding people back as they try to cheap out on their business. And I want you to go all in on you, your mindset, your skills of sales and marketing. When you do that first, then you can start looking at what other ways do I want to invest from a place of knowing how to make decisions in your business, knowing where to invest your money, and already being a master at sales and marketing. If you want to outsource sales and marketing one day, that's great. Do it. But you need to know the messaging. You need to know exactly what it is that you offer and how to say it before you can outsource it to somebody else. This is not something that you could skip. You have to know what you do and you have to know how to say it, because at some point you're going to be having a sales conversation with somebody. And so this is what we get really, really good at over a period of 6 months. So go up, submit your application right now, immediately, even if it's midnight, do it. All it's going to ask is for you to run your numbers, to set your goals. And when you send that, I will respond to you within 24 hours. Remember, our group starts on November 14th. So you want to get this in immediately, get it in today. And if you're watching this in the future and you're like, oh my gosh, I missed it, submit the application. I get a notification as soon as the application comes in. We'll still have a conversation about your business. I'll let you know where we're at in the enrollment cycle, and we can at least have you moving forward on your business goals and dreams. You want to move forward on this. You don't want to wait. It's not something that you want to wait on, because why not? You have nothing to lose. The worst case that's going to happen is we're going to have a conversation and I'm going to give you a bunch of value and you're going to walk away with a free hour of my time. That's literally the worst case. Right? The best case is you're going to say yes, you're going to love the group. It's going to be perfectly aligned for you. You're going to be involved in this group for 6 months or more. You're going to get to meet other women. You're going to learn your sales, your marketing. You're going to feel so seen and heard, acknowledged. You'll have a 3-year plan on how to get to 6 figures. You'll know how to double your revenue. You'll feel calm, confident. You'll be doing things you never even thought were possible for you. That's what's available for you when you take the next step to submit your application. So click the link above this video, or if it's on YouTube, it's going to be below. Click the link to submit your application. And I want to talk to you about your business goals. I want to remind you that it's actually possible, because money is made with your mind. Okay. All right. I'm going to check the comments. I'm going to do a little bit for Deb here, and then we're going to wrap up. All right. So this is Deb's post. Did you know that intuition is for everyone? That's right. Every single person is intuitive. I help people develop and sharpen their intuitive skills. Book a free consult call and let's see what's possible. So good, Deb. Yep, Deb says, and you end up chasing shiny things you don't need. Yes, and Deb, we all do this. So I do think there is a level of business mistakes we're all going to make, but I do think having a coach there to help you and like be like, okay, how are you making this decision? Why are you making this decision? What's the plan for the ROI? I think that's always a really good thing to have. And still, even with that, mistakes will be made. And if mistakes are made, we just manage our emotions. So it's not about being perfect, not making mistakes, but it is really good to have those checks and balances for when you're making those investments. Okay, beautiful. I love this, Deb. And what I would do for this, your post is give me one more result. So after it says, I help people develop and sharpen their intuitive skills, give me one more result here. And so it could say like, so you can. And maybe there's 3 check marks, right? So I help people develop and sharpen their intuitive skills so they can, check mark, communicate calmly in relationships, check mark, advance in their work/career. And then check mark. Develop a sense of deep peace and calm amongst the chaos. Check mark. Intuitive skills are needed now more than ever. Book a free consult call with me. This will change your life. And I don't remember exactly what I said, so you can watch the replay. But all I was offering was, I help people develop and sharpen their intuitive skills so they can, give 3 check marks. And then if you really think about it, right, that deep sense of calm and inner peace that comes from intuition and that groundedness, it is truly needed now more than ever, right? When we think of the election cycle, we think about what's going on in the world. When somebody can, in a minute, in a moment, access their intuition and tune in to this deeper knowing, for that moment it is as if nothing else matters. It is as if the chaos of the world fades away. So that's the reason to do intuitive development now. It helps to solve the suffering. It helps to, I would imagine, Deb, that another one is like, it also helps to, I don't know if protect your energy is the right word. I don't know if that's a negative connotation, but it's like manage your energy, protect your energy, like not be influenced by outside forces. That's the other value, is when you get connected with your intuition, you also know how to manage that energetic field, put out the good stuff, and also kind of like let the bad stuff bounce off. So those are some really great ones. Beautiful. All right. So I'm going to wrap this up for today. If you're watching the replay, make sure you're playing along, you're commenting below. This one was really good today, if I do say so myself. I'm looking forward to talking to you after you submit your application. We will have a conversation about your business. I love doing consults. I love connecting with you in this way. So we will get on a call. We'll have a conversation about your business. We'll walk you through everything that you need to do in order to double your revenue. And we can see if coming into Permission to Profit 6-month group coaching is a good fit. Like I said, worst case is maybe it's not a good fit, or maybe you're like, not right now. You're still going to get a lot of great value because I'm going to tell you these are the things you need to be working on in your business, and you can start working on those things and moving in that direction. And then best case is you're going to come into the group, you're going to start making money, you're going to be connecting to other women, you're going to feel seen and heard and validated. You're going to be going after bigger goals and dreams than you ever imagined. You're going to be achieving them. And you're also going to have really good, solid support for when you do have mistakes, when you do have failures. And that, as a result, is going to help you be a really strong, confident CEO so that you know that you can double your revenue, you know how to create results, and you can do this. All right, my friends, I will talk to you soon, and I will be back here tomorrow. Tomorrow, I believe we are at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Let me just double check. Yes, we are at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Get your application in ASAP. I will talk to you soon. Bye.